What's up everyone, this is Cold91. Today, it's a bit of a different video. It's more of a collection showcasing. I often, do lists, reviews, that kind of shit, but today I want to focus on one band. First of all, we are listening to Incantation, On the Throne of Apocalypse. This is, I believe, I always forget, this is the re-recording, or original recording of Mortal Throne and Nazarene, I believe. But this is the original, this is the band's version of this album. I've actually never heard the original recording. I've only heard this one, but this one is fucking wicked. It's just incredible, and the album cover is one of my favorites of all time. It gives off a big Gustave Doré vibe, similar to like Emperor Wrath of the Tyrant, like classic Renaissance period art. But yeah, incredible album. All right, we are going to be talking about a band I have been known to obsess over. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this about me. But as you all know, I have been obsessed with Leviathan for many years. And at this point, I felt it was time for me to show my full collection, because I know for a fact I have a bigger Leviathan collection than most people. So this is all the CDs and tapes. This and a bunch of LPs. So let's just get started. First we have this, the first Sublevel Suicide 8.5 digibook. This I picked up in 2nd Avenue Records in Portland, where I live. This was actually given to the store by Jeff Whitehead. Jeff Whitehead lives in Portland, and he comes by that store all the time. Not all the time, kind of often. He's known the owners for many years, and I go to 2nd Avenue whenever I have extra money and I have free time. 2nd Avenue is basically the Portland store for metal. And this is, from what I remember, they said that Jeff Whitehead gave this to them. And this is the demo versions of some of the songs off the first Sublevel Suicide. I own another copy of this release, just in a different format. But yeah, so these are the early versions of the 10th Sublevel Suicide recordings. The only songs on here that are not on 10th Sublevel Suicide are from Crevious Rotten and Withered Upon Her Kingdom of Was. But I believe those are songs from other demos before the first full length. So yeah, really interesting release. I've never listened to it in this format, but I've obviously heard the material. Some of the songs are a bit different rendition, a bit differently, but it's all great. All right, for the first cassette, we have Tentacles of Horror. This is the second album from Leviathan, 2004. The first album came out in 2003, second one 2004, and then the one after that was 2005. So Leviathan was very, very busy, as you all know. He also put out like 20 demos. But yeah, this is the cassette. I own multiple copies of this album, as you guys will come to see. This might be I have played 10th Sublevel Suicide more, but I think this is the one I go back to the most recently. Overall, I think I hold 10th Sublevel Suicide in higher regards, but this one is unbelievably perfect. This album is basically the atmospheric and dark and dingy cousin of 10th Sublevel Suicide. 10th Sublevel Suicide is, hateful, nihilistic, depressing, just angsty black metal, whereas Leviathan is more misanthropic and depressing and kind of atmospheric and kind of like a bizarre nightmare feeling. So yeah, Tentacles of Horror, one of the best black metal albums of all time, and my second favorite Leviathan album. Just unbelievable stuff. And like I said, this is like the atmospheric cousin of 10th Sublevel Suicide, and it's just as incredible. Different style. I prefer 10th Sublevel Suicide by a decent amount, but this one I think is more than a formidable follow-up. Alright, next we have, let's continue cassettes. We got How Mockery of the Cross. This is, as you probably know, this is a compilation of demo material that was not featured on Veritor. This is after Tentacles of Horror, so 2004, 2005 comes around. This is the compilation material that was not put out on Veritor, because Veritor was the two-hour Leviathan compilation of his best demo tracks, and this is extra material from that. There are some brilliant songs on here. It is definitely not my favorite Leviathan album. It is quite disjointed because there's so many different styles on here, but overall, it's a really brilliant album. Summoning Lupin is one of his best songs ever. The Axis, let me see. SWOL, that's one of his, that's an incredible song. Never for Peace, Lycanthropic's Rex, that's an amazing one too. All of these songs are good. Some of them are brilliant. It's just overall the flow of the record is kind of not there, because they were never meant to be they were never meant to complement each other. They kind of existed separately from each other. So yeah, all of these songs are great. This compilation is brilliant in of itself, but as a whole cohesive listen, it's kind of a mixed bag. So yeah, great great compilation, but it's only for diehard fans, I'd say. All right, next we have Massive Conspiracy Against All Life. This is the 2008 return to a new style by Leviathan. Up until this point, he was doing hateful, nihilistic black metal, kind of sub-level, atmospheric, nihilistic black metal on Tentacles of Horror, then Howl Mockery of the Cross, which is, I'd say, raw black metal. Then Massive Conspiracy Against All Life is like avant-garde, Deathspell Omega type black metal. This album is very interesting because it doesn't really have that many cohesive riffs. Tentacles of Horror is similar in that regard, in the sense that it's kind of more atmospheric and dark and brooding. It's kind of like a drone album, or like a Silent Hill soundtrack, in the sense that it kind of builds an atmosphere more than it is enjoyable music. It kind of just creates a vibe and a dark, oppressive sound. So as brilliant as they are, they don't really have that many cohesive riffs. Tentacles of Horror has more, but this one is kind of more just a blanket of raw noise mixed with the really sick and demented vocals of Jeff Whitehead. So yeah, this album is kind of like a Sun O record, but it's like imagine the dark and kind of like film-esque sound of Sun O, but in a black metal record. Because Sun O is kind of like, it's more of an atmosphere than it is in music, and I'd say Leviathan, Massive Conspiracy Against All Life is similar in that regard. But don't take that as an insult. This album has so many incredible songs. Vesture Dipped in the Blood of Morning, the Blood of Morning, Merging with Sword into Them, Noisome Ash Crown, one of his best songs ever. Receive the World, 6. The Roman numeral one, you guys know what I'm talking about. That one is incredible. That one is allegedly about the death of his girlfriend, his girlfriend, and that Roman numerals are the date of her death. It's a really beautiful song. And there's a line on here. There's a really beautiful line on here. I believe it's on the Roman numeral song. It's I sought death but could not find it. To die was my desire, but death fled from me. It's just incredible. It's big. From what I gather, that line is basically he tried to kill himself, but death wouldn't accept him for whatever reason, and he kind of was contemplating that. So yeah, brilliant album, very ambitious record that not everyone's gonna like. I don't listen to it as much as I should, to be honest, because every time I listen to it, it's fucking brilliant, but I never am in the mood for it, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, whenever I listen to it, it's brilliant. Alright, next we have Unfailing Fall into Naught. This is a 2018 compilation. I don't really know what this material is. I believe it's still demo material. We have the Fourth Blind Wound, another spot, another Sip of Fear, Crushing the Prolapsed Ordinance of Virtue, the Remotest Cipher, Beyond the Last Breath Banished, and then the Unfailing Fall into Naught, obviously the song. So I don't really know what this material is. I believe it's demo material or songs that just simply did not end up on the full lengths. But what's weird is this is a very new release. This came out, I believe, 2018. So I don't know why it's being released recently. But yeah, it's all killer stuff. Unfailing Fallen to Nod is one of his most unbelievable songs ever. 10 minutes, I think 13 minutes of just absolute masterclass black metal. So yeah, Unfailing Fallen to Nod. Again, this is only for the diehards, but if you are a diehard, I recommend it. You gotta listen to it at some point. Alright, now we have another version of this. We have the first Syllable of Suicide Digipack. This is actually a little bit different of a track list. This has everything on the other one, only this one has the Idiot Son. And the Idiot Son recording on here is absolutely insane. It's basically more unpolished The Idiot Son, only the vocal inflections are a bit mismatched in terms of where they are in the song. So yeah, incredible stuff that, like I said, for the diehard fans, but it definitely kind of gives you a glimpse into the evolution of Leviathan to the point where he would become the 10th solo of Suicide. It kind of shows where his mind frame was and his gradual evolution of perfecting his style. And yeah, this is a really cool album. Alright, next we have the Leviathan Black Death split. I have not heard the Black Death side in full, but I've heard it's awful, and the bit I heard I did not like. Leviathan, on the other hand, I mean, it's Leviathan. The first song in here, Corpse Glide, Beneath Great Dragon, is fucking intense. His whole side on this album is absolutely barbaric. You got the cool Necronomicon logo there. It's just a really intense side of his side of the split that I think is some of his most intense material. It's really cool too because in the booklet you got the Gustave Doré painting of the destruction of Leviathan, which is symbolic for Leviathan, obviously. So yeah, the Leviathan side of this is fucking brilliant. This is the Portrait and Scars EP used as his side of the split, but the Black Death side is not that good from what I remember. So yeah, as I keep saying, for the true fans of Leviathan, you gotta get it, but for those who are not obsessed with him, don't get it. But yeah, his side alone is brilliant. Alright, we have one of the magnum opuses, Leviathan and Zaster split. This was for a long time my most coveted piece of media in my collection. It's not anymore, mainly because I only like Leviathan on this split. There are some Zaster songs in here that are genuinely incredible. The Telepathic with the Deceased rehearsal on here is absolutely unbelievable. Telepathic with the Deceased, the song off the album, is one of my favorite songs in black metal. But I'd say this one is maybe even better. The Leviathan side on here is Unfailing Fallen to Nod, which was mentioned earlier on the cassette. From what I have gathered, he made the song for the Zaster split, and he kind of has been using it throughout his career. So let's see, he does a Judas Iscariot cover, the Remote Cipher, Unfailing Fallen to Nod. So yeah, his side is absolutely brilliant. Zaster's side is very, very good. He does Zaster incredibly well. It's some of his best material. But Zaster, I'm just in general not a big fan of. Zaster is too, I don't know, kind of vague and riffless, It's kind of, honestly, a lot of Zaster material is like the worst Leviathan material. A lot of Zaster is incredible, but the bulk of it is kind of like Leviathan rejects. Leviathan rejects that are more kind of loose and kind of without a oomph, So, great split. It's mandatory listening, but I'm very partial to the Leviathan side. Alright, next we have the Leviathan and Sarpathorn split. This one I also got in Portland, and I have not heard, I believe, either side of this split. I think I heard one song off the Leviathan side, and I remember it being really good, but I have not heard both sides. I'm sure it's quality, and the other one is the Sarpathorn. I'm sure it's good too. But yeah, I have not heard it officially, but I'm just happy to have it, because he has a lot of material, and if I can own most of it, I'm happy. The next one's not his best moment. We have Leviathan, True Share, True Horror. This is the 2011 comeback album, I believe, and it's not good. There's some moments on here that are incredible. I don't remember which ones because it's been so long since I listened to it. But as you probably most of you know, this was right after he broke up with his ex-girlfriend, not the one that committed suicide. This is the one after. This is the one that he allegedly raped with a tattoo gun. Who knows how true that is? But this album is basically a love letter to her, saying how much of a whore and a bitch she is. That's basically what this album is. And Jeff White himself does not like this album at all because he was drunk through most of it, so his musicianship is subpar at best. There are some amazing songs on here, but in general, it's actually not amazing songs. Some amazing moments on here, but in general, it's very disjointed and very sloppy. It's not raw in the good way; it's raw in the bad way, and it's just super unprofessionally done. I'm happy I have it because again, it's hard to find anything by Leviathan, but especially this album. He's completely separated himself from this album, which I think is honestly a good move because it's not that great. But regardless, I'm very happy to own it because Leviathan's cool to own, and this album is hard to find. So, all right, his newest album we have Scar-Sighted. This is the Profound Lore, I think. Yeah, Profound Lore issue with a bunch of his artwork. Really, really cool stuff. I've always wanted to get a big frame for these, but I just simply have not had the time, nor the space, nor the money to do it. But it's very cool. This album has always been kind of weird to me because I'd argue it's maybe his most ambitious and his just overall best performed, but I don't love it. It's some of his most ambitious work, absolutely, undoubtedly. The songs on here are all just massive sounding. The Smoke of Their Torment is one of the best Leviathan songs. All the songs on here are well done. All the songs on here are ambitious, hateful, just pissed off, and just really well performed, but they just don't click with me for some reason. I think it's because this is more the Massive Conspiracy Against All lifestyle, the more Deathspell Omega, Bluthaus Nord, Vlad, like Belkatir, Vlad Tepes style, and I'm more used to the more raw, stripped down side of Leviathan. So it not clicking for me has nothing to do with the quality. I think it simply has to do with the fact that it's not the style I expect from him. I still think it's very good, but I never listened to it. Here's the vinyl, by the way. I'm flipping it over. Really nice vinyl. I picked up this Incantation record in Portland, same place I got I got that Leviathan digibook. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Scar-Sighted, really, really well done album, but I never listened to it, and I enjoy it, but it doesn't click with me, so. Alright, next we have, this is a really cool one. We have Leviathan 10 Syllable of Suicide promo. This is before it came out. If you look right there, it says for promotional use only, attempt to sell and the razor will greet your flesh. So this is a promo CD put out by Mortabund. This is before the album came out, evidently. I don't know the context of how this was shipped. I imagine it came out with like other orders, like you buy a vinyl and you get this as complimentary. But yeah, this is kind of like one of those things where, like, I don't need to own it. I own, I believe, 4 copies of this album, but just having a promo, that's fucking cool, you know, so really, really cool. Alright, here's a big one. We got Leviathan Veritor, the 2-hour compilation of his early demo work. Now, here's the thing. Every song on here is fantastic, for varying degrees, obviously. Every song on here is really, really, really well done. This is Leviathan at some of his most creative, because this is when he was really getting his footing, you know. He had not, I don't think he probably had been signed to Mortabund, but he was not an established name by any means. But yeah, this is him as most creative and kind of just throwing shit at the wall. However, I never listened to this, mainly because it's so goddamn long and it's intimidating, but it is fantastic. And the cover is one of the best ever. Apparently, the reason the reissues of this album don't have this cover is because he used it without permission, so they had to get rid of it for copyright reasons, but I'm happy I own the original cover. But yeah, Veritor Leviathan, unbelievable stuff that I had never listened to. which seems to be par for the course for a lot of Leviathan. Alright, next we have the Leviathan 2016 box set. This is the box set that I used to get into Leviathan. Leviathan, when I bought this, I was not familiar with, in the sense I had not heard everything by him. I had only heard bits and pieces of the 10th Level of Suicide, and I thought, you know what, I'm getting into him, why not go full into him? And buying this was one of the best things I ever bought. This is all his early albums, including Silhouette and Splinters, which is his ambient album. But yeah, this is the box set that made me fall in love with Leviathan, especially 10th Level and How Mockery, actually. How Mockery was one of the albums that I got into really heavily early on. Tentacles of Horror came later. But yeah, incredible box set, really well done, and it comes with this gorgeous poster. And as you can imagine, Leviathan posters are not easy to come by. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Pretty fucking cool. That was used on the 10th Level of Suicide, like back, either in the insert or on the back of the 10th Level of Suicide CD. So yeah, really beautiful box set. It comes with a fucking cool poster. So. Come on. Alright, for the final home stretch, we have Unfailing Fall Into Naught on LP. Like I said, this is some seems like some early demo material, but released in 2018. And this is the demo, this is the LP. Really, really awesome cover. I saw someone get this cover done as a tattoo by him. And this is his artwork too, which is really cool. Let me open it up. So yeah, again, I never listened to this. It's mostly the full length by him I listen to, but this is really good stuff too. And hearing Unfailing Fall Into Naught on LP is definitely an amazing experience, because it's a wonderful song. So Leviathan, Unfailing Fall Into Naught. Alright, next we have Massive Conspiracy Against All Life. Same thing I said, this is the ambitious, Despel Omega-esque Leviathan record. I'll just show you the inside of the actually, fuck, I'll show you the record. Let's see. There we go. It's like red with white splatter, pretty cool. They're both like that. Let me see. God, this video is kind of a mess, I'm sorry. So yeah, front cover, back, and then, let's see what it says, I forget. It says, "Whence things have their origin, thence their destruction happens, according to necessity, for they give to each other justice and recompense for their injustice in conformity with the ordinance of time." Leave it to Leviathan to be like unbelievably ambitious and like I don't know, poetic, you know, just an incredible. He's a genius, man. Who knows? I don't know if that's his quote or not, but to use it is fucking cool. So yeah, unbelievably amazing album, beautiful LP. That cover is fucking awesome. All right, next we have Tentacles of Horror with the alternate cover. This was actually no, sorry. This is the original cover. They used the one in the back as the original, as the actual one. I don't know why. I don't know the story, but this one's definitely better. It fits the music better in a way. Both are really good because the other one is way more like abstract, and it's a very abstract record. But this one's just pure black metal. So yeah, unbelievable stuff. And then let me show you the LP color variant. This one's, I believe, like gray or something. Oh yeah, look at that, it's amazing. Oh no, it's like white with pink. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've listened to this album countless times, but only a couple times in LP, and it's awesome every time. Alright, for the final piece of the collection, we have 10th Level of Suicide on vinyl. For the longest time, this was my most wanted album on vinyl because I wanted to have my favorite album of all time on vinyl. And I have for a long time now. Sense of Little Suicide. Same thing, I'll show you. Cover, back with that unbelievably awesome photo. Then inside. To the first gash you rape into your own skin. Incredible. And then I'll show you the color variant. This one's like a gray with black, I believe. Yeah, look at that. Really, really cool. I've listened to this album multiple times on vinyl. It is a hell of an album to listen to on vinyl. Mainly because it's 2 discs. So it's a hassle to replace, you know, to flip over. But it's also just a huge album, you know. Anyway, that was my full Leviathan collection. Let me get stuff in frame so you can get the fucking scope of things. And then you got these. So yeah, that was my full collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below your opinion on Leviathan. If you think my collection is kind of dumb, because I kind of think it is, but I have no shame in it. Yeah, let me know your opinion on Leviathan, like what band you have the most by it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.